Anytime.
Today, the payments are revealed.
In my mind, that is just the most pedantic point-scoring gameplay.
And the winner announced.
I truly believe that you'd not checked that room.
Do you not think we would check every room?
With 4 in a bed,
You're now telling me a dead fly is worth 4.
did anyone get a good night's sleep?
It was just chaos from the word go.
Dirty, dirty, dirty. Just no need.
It's the final day of the competition to be named the best rivals zoomed into Llwynon guest house near remote Betws-y-Coed.
Hi.
First impressions were a rip-roaring success.
This.
Feels like a fucking lifetime ago, doesn't it? Seeing them with the milk bottles, that honestly feels like it happened about 4 months ago.
Is a lovely little room.
I like it. Yeah, nice.
What a journey.
It was genuinely immaculate.
And former IT man Gary was equally happy with his domain.
Okay, let's just check the Wi-Fi. We've got 10 megabits download, which is ticking the box there.
But by evening, he was wired.
I had to unplug the kettle to plug my tech in, you see. I haven't got enough plugs.
The average person doesn't bring that much technology with them.
But I am above average.
So sparks flew at feedback.
Not enough plug sockets to support my required technology.
What technology are they bringing? If they need more than 4 double plug sockets.
Lots of plug sockets is important to me because I have a lot of tech to plug in.
Nobody needs that many plug sockets. Not the people we get, anyway.
Already bugged, Tracy and Wayne want Gary to back up his views.
How are the facilities at Llwynon Guest House? Not enough plug sockets. How many?
Lots.
There's 9 plug sockets in that room. Granted, some of them are lamps and televisions.
The thing is, when I'm using...
9 is so many as well. Sure, you might not want to unplug the telly if your daughter's watching it or whatever. Who gives a shit about unplugging a kettle? And all he had was a fucking tablet. The wireless keyboard, that's going to be battery powered, isn't it? Fucking knob end.
A laptop, I always like to use it on the desk, so it's always nice to have one above the desk. Now, there was one behind the desk, but it meant moving the desk.
I'm just staggered. I'm bemused by the whole...
I've just...
Staggered.
Finally.
Absolutely. I'm bemused by the whole plug thing. I didn't find it an issue. I just...
End of stream now.
There were not enough plug sockets for me, and they were just in the wrong place.
Most of our guests are all sort of outsidey people. They're there to walk, mountain biking and such like. They're not really teched up that much, you know.
I appreciate what you're saying, but we've got a generation of younger tech people who...
Like yourself.
This. Wayne is a nice guy, but he really ought to look up to the needs of the consumer.
I think Gary needs to...
Fuck off! His fucking B&B is aimed at fucking Welsh tech support people. What a fucking cock.
Look out of the window instead of in the screen of a computer.
Atmosphere charged, Wayne and Tracy can now cash up. Kicking off with John and Shelley's stay, priced at £80.
60, 70, 80.
Nice.
That's full payment.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely great place. We really, really enjoyed our stay there.
Thank you.
It's a totally wonderful place that they've got there.
Next, Nicola and Mackenzie's family room, also costing £80.
Worth it.
40, 60, 80. Well, that's full payment. Thank you.
Despite the lack of sockets, it wasn't too much of a problem.
Thank you.
No?
Thank you very much.
Why bring it up then?
We've got the full amount right across the board, but there is 3 more B&Bs to go.
It's Gary's
Good one,
fly
Pipeline.
that's really hit them below the belt.
How clean was the Parkwood? And we got a 6. Found a dead fly, which shows lack of attention to detail. Like to expand?
There was a fly in the windowsill, and it was just easily noticeable.
No, not at all. Nutter.
You know, we were in a competition. I thought, well, you know, you should have got that one.
I think that's a really ridiculous point in my mind, Gary.
It's a really fair point. To be fair to Gary here, there was a dead fly on the window. They didn't place that there, did they? Come on.
I really do.
I would completely disagree. It was a dead fly, right, on the windowsill.
You're now telling me a dead fly is worth 4.
As far as I'm concerned, yeah.
If you guys want to walk into my business and mark me down 4...
Wait, was it outside? The fly was outside? I didn't know that. That's different, isn't it? You can't fuck with nature. I didn't realise it was on the outside. Oh, it's not even in the fucking room. What's the big fucking... That's nothing. between the window when you open it. As in you slide it up and it's down in the little crevice bit. VAR it. Did they just show it? I'm never getting away from here, am I? I can't find it now. I can't find it. We're moving on from the dead fly. We're moving on from the dead fly.
My business and mark me down 4 for a dead fly. I think you need a reality check, buddy.
They had every right, John and Shelley, to go off the handle on that because you can't drop 4 points for a fly.
In my mind, that is just the most pedantic point-scoring gameplay. It doesn't correlate, and in my mind, you're using that to justify having a dig at my business, and I think it's really unfair.
Well, I am playing a game, but I'm trying to be fair about it. And a fly in a windowsill? What, was I not supposed to mention it?
I think the guy's deluded. I really genuinely do.
Feeling stung, John and Shelley buzz into their banknotes, starting with Tracy and Wayne's family room, charged at £99.
80, 90, 2. It's an underpayment of £7.
That's a fucking pathetic underpayment. Deducting £7, or is that the cost of the breakfast? I think breakfast was included, wasn't it? Can't remember.
Went to the toilet and got a pinch on the bum. There was a split in the toilet.
Fair bikers.
It was replaced before because there was a broken one, but we will replace it again.
Really sorry about that.
You don't expect to go in a room and go on the toilet and, you know, have a painful pinch on your bum when you get on the toilet.
Cracking on, it's Nicola and Mackenzie's twin room, priced at £79.
60, 70. It's an underpayment of £9.
I just didn't sleep well and I didn't feel great the next day.
We're very happy with £70 with the fact that you didn't sleep. I thank you for the payment.
Okay, no.
Professional.
Hey, I'm disappointed that they didn't sleep, to not have a good sleep. Yeah, no one wants that.
Finally, Gary and Naomi's twin room, again at £79.
40, 65. So that's a £14 underpayment.
Oof.
I thought that was fair because of the noise problems that we had. Didn't mark you down for the fly.
Really sorry about that. Thank you for your massive underpayment.
Gary's £14 underpayment is an absolute joke.
That underpayment, okay, reflects the noise levels. There was too much noise coming into that room, which is why I marked it fairly.
With Llewyn on underpaying by £7, the Pug and Greyhound knocking off £9, and the Solar Strand holding back £14.
To be fair, if you get an underpaid in every case, it's not a one-off, is it? It's not just Gary being difficult. Something's gone wrong in each case, so I think...
The Parkwood flies off with a final bill average of
Shawnee.
88%. Halfway through proceedings, the Pug and Greyhound and Solar Strand are still to face their feedback.
It's been quite heated this morning, so let's wait till later. I think it's only going to get worse.
Make a day of it. Brilliant.
Be of the week. But Gadget Man Gary was grounded.
What I'm doing is I'm testing the speed of the Wi-Fi, but unfortunately it's stuck. I did a little bit of investigation as to some of the technology they were using, and it really was old-fashioned.
For Tracy and Wayne, the hosts were winging it.
I think they've painted it quickly.
But first, the ladies tackle a grey area.
How are the facilities at the Pug and Greyhound? We got a 6. Bad finish and prison-like.
Prison-like? I've not heard that sort of expression before when anybody stayed in the rooms.
It's quite a small room, that the wall is at the end of your bed, and I think it's the colour that makes it feel like a prison.
We don't think it's prison-like. It's a harsh-sounding description.
Yeah, possibly.
And I think, you know, it's possibly portraying something that it isn't.
The finish to everything, the decor and... Okay.
Next, Gary and Naomi's twin room, also at £80.
50, 60, 75. So that's a £5.
Fiver.
The reason for the underpayment was because of the facilities.
Because we couldn't connect to the internet.
There is a problem with the internet, and it's something that we will address. And if we need to get boosters, then we will do that.
The difference in what Gary paid at the Pug and Greyhound against what he paid for the Parkwood at our place, there was such a difference. It just stinks of game playing.
Not being able to even connect to the internet, I mean, hey, we're in a competition. You should have done something about it. You know, they really failed on that one.
Finally,
You can't cook an egg, you cunt.
Stay priced at £90.
No internet. Yeah, I agree.
75. So that's a £15 underpayment.
Oof.
Disappointing.
Very.
Yeah, it's quite a large amount.
The vision is great, and it could be such a special little room, but it was just let down by the...
It's something that's clearly letting us down, and that's a shame.
Absolute shame.
I definitely feel that they backtracked. They were quite apologetic in the manner in which they spoke to us.
I feel like they've said a lot, but then when it's come to the confrontation, they've sort of shied away and they've not actually been saying what they said before.
Initially, we walked in and thought, wow, it's going to be an overpayment. What a great room. However, after spending a few minutes looking at the room, it was really apparent that that wasn't the case.
With the Solar Strand underpaying by £5, Llywelyn Guesthouse deducting £10, and the Parkwood knocking off £15, the Pug and Greyhound receives a final bill average of 88%. Last to throw...
I can't fucking wait for this. Really, really excited. The bikers have just walked it, haven't they? Piece of piss.
Their hat into the ring, our father
Agreed, Rolo.
Gary and Naomi Pasticcio.
It's Judgment Day.
When the rivals rocked up to the Solar Strand in Cross Keys, Wales,
Welcome.
the room hit the spot for Wayne and Tracy.
It's all nice and new, isn't it? New carpet.
Yeah. Our room was absolutely spotless.
But in the morning, the eccentric host was in a scramble.
The eggs are all crap.
Can you please do the post?
That was completely justified because breakfast didn't go very well.
Finally, John and Shelley's stay, totalling £72.90.
Place your bets. I reckon 50 quid. On the money, 50 quid. Breakfast. 50 quid. £2.90. 40. Nah, 45. If it's under 50.
20, 40.
Oh! That was a quick count. Fucking hell.
An underpayment of £32.90.
It doesn't feel good to get a payment like that.
40 quid.
Explain.
Breakfast, we've covered. The cleanliness is the biggest reason that I made that underpayment.
Absolutely.
I am very disappointed with that.
If I'd have walked into a hotel as a paying guest and seen a quilt like that, I'd have walked straight out.
I'm not really happy with the payment, but then you weren't happy with the service, so
Yeah.
you know, I'll put that right. I'm very disappointed to be given that payment. That's undeserved.
Basic hygiene is a real killer, and a bed with hair in it, I'm not going to pay for that.
With Llywelyn Guesthouse underpaying by £17.90, the Pug and Greyhound knocking off £20.45, and the Parkwood holding back £32.90.
It's a clear winner, isn't there?
Finishes with a final bill average of 69%. With all the payments in, it's down to final host Gary.
Why? Why?
Ladies and gentlemen, in fourth place, the
It's
Solar
you.
Strand Hotel. The Solar Strand Hotel was not the worst in this competition. In fact,
Well, it was.
probably the best, in my opinion.
Come on.
We have
Yeah, post the link.
joint
Solar Strand.
place.
Send me a link before I go.
So the winner is
It's only 9:20. Not eaten yet.
Llywelyn Guesthouse.
Much deserved.
Static.
Very happy to win.
Yeah.
We may be having a couple of beers tonight.
Congratulations
They're class.
to the winners.
What do they get?
Here is your trophy.
All right.
Thank you very much.
I'm really quite pleased to know that
Spud Gun, you checked eBay yet? They on there? Solarstrand.news. This is just the... okay, so it's 3 stars. He said 4 earlier. Let's just watch
he
the
was
end.
joint second as opposed to third. It was a really good feeling.
Cheers, everybody.
I do think that we possibly could have won if there wasn't some game playing that was clearly being done. It's just a shame.
Let's have a quick look then. Gary's hat for the Hall of Fame. Thank you. First time chat there as well. Thank you so much for tonight, everybody. I've felt like shit all this week, and it's cheered me up a little bit, so much appreciated.